In the speaking section of the TOEFL IBT test, you will be able to demonstrate your ability to speak in English about a variety of topics by answering 4 questions. In the test, the first question is about a familiar topic. Your response is scored on your ability to speak clearly and coherently about the topic. In the next 2 questions, your responses are based on what you have read and heard. First, you will read a short text either about a campus-related change or an academic topic. The text will go away, and then you will listen to either a conversation about the campus-related change or a short lecture on the academic topic. You will then be asked a question about what you have read and heard. You need to combine appropriate information from the text and the talk to provide a complete answer to the question. For the final question, you will listen to part of a lecture on an academic topic. You will then be asked to summarize the main points of what you heard. Your responses to these questions are scored on your ability to speak clearly and coherently and on your ability to accurately convey information about what you have read and/or heard. During the test, you can take notes while you read and while you listen to the conversations and lectures, and you can use your notes to help prepare your response. Listen carefully to the directions for each question. The directions are not written on the screen. You will be given a short time to prepare your response, 15 to 30 seconds, depending on the question. A clock shows how much preparation time remains. When the preparation time is up, you will be told to begin your response. A clock shows how much response time remains. A message appears on the screen when the response time has ended. In this practice test, you will not record your responses. Instead, you will read sample responses. If you wish to practice your responses, you may do so by setting a timer and recording yourself using your own device. Directions. In this question, you will be asked to give your opinion about a school topic. After you hear the question, you will have 15 seconds to prepare your response and 45 seconds to ask.
Some students like to take courses online. Others prefer to take courses on campus. Which do you prefer and why? Include details and examples to support your explanation.
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Directions. In this question, you will read a short passage about a campus situation and then listen to a talk on the same topic. You will then answer a question using information from both the reading passage and the talk. After the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak.
The man expresses his opinion of the announcement made by the university. State his opinion and explain the reasons he gives for the opinion.
Now, listen to 2 students discussing the letter.
I heard they are going to change the menu in the dining hall, something about students cooking the food.
Right, and I'm looking forward to it.
So you think it will be better than the current system?
Sure. What a great experience it will be for students who are studying cooking. They'll be able to get real-world experience to complement the stuff they learn in class. It's one thing to prepare a small dish for a few people, but it's quite another to make recipes for large groups of people. This way they can get a glimpse into what it might be like to be a professional chef or caterer.
Yeah, but it's probably a little harder. Plus, I'm not sure I'm totally happy about the extra fees. It's hard enough paying for tuition and books and everything else. Now we will have to pay more for food.
It's not that big of a deal. The meals will be slightly more expensive but still affordable. And think about the food cheaper. Some students eat in the cafeteria all the time, but to be honest, the food there is not very tasty. I've even heard people around campus complaining and making jokes about it.
That's true. In fact, I sometimes eat out to avoid eating in the dining hall. Come to think of it, it will be nice to have some good food here on campus.
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Directions. In this question, you will read a short passage on an academic subject and then listen to a talk on the same topic. You will then answer a question using information from both the reading passage and the talk. After the question, you will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and 60 seconds to speak. You will have 45 seconds to read the passage. Begin reading now. Now listen to part of the lecture.
Last time we discussed some different approaches to tackling problems. Well, today I'd like to talk about systems thinking, and I will start by using a case that I'm very familiar with, when I was involved in. So I was working in a corporation with a company that had a major problem, an issue with employee attendance. The absence rate among the workers was very high, and the management really wanted to get to the bottom of the problem. So they started by asking workers individually why they weren't coming to work. And as you might expect, the workers gave all kinds of different reasons and excuses, which ultimately resulted in the company not coming up with any concrete resolution or idea about how to reduce the absent rate. Finally, the company decided to hire a consultant who approaches the problem from a holistic perspective. Instead of focusing on the individual workers, the consultant conducted a thorough investigation of the facilities. According to his investigation, the issue stemmed not from personal reasons, but a complex web of factors. For one, he cited the unbalanced meals in the cafeteria as contributing to unhealthy eating habits. Also, he discovered that there was no gym in the workplace. So people weren't getting exercise, and of course, poor diets and low activity levels can lead to fatigue and weakness. And as we all know, if employees are tired and feeling weak, we can't expect a low rate of attendance. In response, the company built a gym and changed the cafeteria menu, and the problem of absenteeism eventually disappeared.
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep.
In this question, you will listen to part of a lecture. You will then be asked a question about what you have heard. Your response will be scored on your ability to speak clearly and coherently and on your ability to accurately convey information about what you heard. You will have 20 seconds to prepare and 60 seconds to respond. So we've covered the factors that led to the Industrial Revolution. Today, we'll discuss how it transformed society. More than a revolution of industry. It was a revolution for the working class, who experienced profound changes to their lifestyle and living situations. To begin with, everyday goods were no longer made at home, but in factories. Before industrial equipment found common use, most household products had to be created by manual labor. These included clothes, tools, furniture, and more. Can you imagine sewing and dyeing your own clothes? People had to until factories changed all that. The advent of steam power and the installation of steam-powered machines revolutionized the rate of factory output. These large complexes housed enough machines and human labor to manufacture products more quickly, efficiently, and at lower costs than ever before. And since these products were easily available to everyone, there was no longer any need for individuals to spend the time and effort on handmade products. In addition to this, post-industrial society saw the rise of modern cities and the migration of large numbers of workers. As we discussed above, factories revolutionized the industry, and not only did they mass-produce the materials and products people needed, but they effectively mass-produced a new type of job, the factory worker. So as factories started popping up throughout cities, people began to flock to these new industrial cities to find work. The factories benefited from the influx of workers and multiplied, expanding the size of the cities even further. This cycle of prosperity was responsible for turning cities into the sprawling metropolises we see today.
Please prepare your answer after the beep. Please begin speaking after the beep.